Well, this is John Black, Super Chemist, and we're on a playlist called All I Know About Wives, something, something, wives, family, psychology, something like that. I think it's part 7. Anyways, what I did was I looked at the first 6 videos, and I'm just going to go over a couple things, maybe reiterate some stuff, and other things I'm just going to add to what I forgot to say or wanted to say. Jeez. Okay, there it goes. So anyways, get on with this. The first 2 videos were basically talking about how you don't have to treat a woman bad. They don't like, even though it seems like they're going for these bad boys, it's not because they're treating them bad. They don't like that part. That's why when they get with the bad boys, it never works out either. You know what I mean? And that never works out with a nice guy either, right? Because he's too good. He's, and we discussed they don't want to they don't want treated bad, but they don't. If you treat them too good, they hate you. So what do they want? What do these crazy women want, right? Well, they want a good leader. That's it. And a good leader is fair. I want you to think about it. If you're treating them like a queen, is that really fair? You know what I mean? You're doing everything for them and they're doing nothing in return. Is that fair? If the answer is no, which it is, okay, it's not fair. Obviously, she's going to hate you. Yes, in her conscious mind, yes, she's going to say, "Oh my God, he's so great. He's doing it. He gives me gifts. He tells me he loves me all the time. Always hanging out with me, helping me with everything, giving me the world." But see, their biology, their biomechanisms, and these are survival mechanisms that I'm talking about. These biomechanisms. So not just biomechanisms for some chinchy thing that's unimportant. It's a survival mechanism, meaning without this mechanism, the species would not have survived. I would not be making this video right now. We'd all be dead, because without the survival mechanisms, a species cannot survive, right? And that biomechanism, right, that survival mechanism is telling her that she needs a good leader because she's weak, she's dependent, she needs a good leader. You know what I mean? She's a follower. So that's what her bio mechanism is telling her. She's a follower, and since she's a follower, she has to find a good leader. And a good leader is a fair leader. Okay? A good leader doesn't give a whole bunch of crap to one side and nothing to the other side. That's a bad leader. Okay? And their mechanism will go off, even though their conscious mind is, and anyone would know, and they all say it too. You can ask them, why do you step over the good? I don't know. The good guy is so great. They know the good guy is great. They don't know why they step over him. So if you're a woman, see, this is for women and men. I just don't think any women are going to watch my video ever. But this is for women and the men. You know what I mean? I lost my train of thought. But if this is a woman watching, she should be thinking, oh, well, if that's why, that's what I'm jumping over that nice guy. That's why. Finally, maybe it'll click into your head, if you're a woman, that, yeah, that's why you're stepping over that nice guy that just does everything for you, that and you say it consciously. Like someone asks you, wasn't that a great guy? And you're like, yeah, he was just so great. He did everything. He was perfect. No, he wasn't perfect, because there's only one thing that matters to a woman, okay? Because their biology is, their mechanisms are powerful, okay? They cannot overcome a lot of things in, a future society, because these mechanisms always drag them back to caveman times and caveman thinking, you know what I mean? and these mechanisms are just control their mind. They only care about a leader, okay? And that's why they step over that guy, right? He's not doing anything fair, so he's a bad leader, to get to the piece of crap that is a leader but a bad leader. You know what I mean? And they take everything and they give everything to him too. You know what I mean? They'll go for a 2 a.m. booty call that they know they're going to get kicked out afterwards, and when they leave, they'll see like 10 minutes worth of cleaning in the kitchen. They're like, "Oh, let me tidy up before I leave." While they drive home, saying, "Why did I do that? Why did I do that?" You did it because that's the only leader available to you, and you will do anything to get that. Your biomechanisms, your survival mechanisms force you. Okay? Which leads to another point, that men aren't forcing women to be submissives. Women are forcing men to be dominant. Because if you are not dominant, their mechanism kicks in, their biomechanism just kicks in and makes them hate you, makes them disrespect you, because they feel like if you're a poor leader, then they don't have, they're going back to caveman times. They're weak. They can't survive without a good leader, right? And if you're a bad leader, then you're crap to them. You're basically killing them. You know what I mean? If you listen to my one story about the 2 cavemen, the one guy that gave up all his food to the wife ended up killing his entire family because he was weak when the bear came. You know what I mean? And the other guy, he's strong and killed off the bear. Who was the good leader? The guy who took all the food first before he fed his family, or the guy who fed his family first and withered away and now he can't protect? Who was the better leader? The dead family who gave everything to the woman, or the alive family where the man was fair about the distribution? You have to obviously give it to the protector, or you won't be protected. But a boss babe, okay, does not need a man. And I'm not saying this in a sarcastic, because you'll hear all these men saying, "Well, you don't need no man, so screw you." I'm not saying you don't need a man, so screw you. I'm saying you don't need a man because you don't need a man. I mean, the whole purpose of a man, right, or the whole purpose of the husband is to provide, right? And if you're doing that, if you're already doing that, then what do you need? What do you need the man for? I mean, a woman can just walk outside and spread her legs, and 20 men will, offer to have sex with her. So it's not about the sex. What does he provide? Basically, if you're a man and you're with a boss babe, you have zero value. And that's why sooner or later they will treat you like you have zero value, because they're correct. What value do you have? You could be with a woman who stays at home and she values you because, you know what? You're providing for her. But when you're with a boss babe, she doesn't need you to provide. She doesn't appreciate it at all. And she can say that she appreciates it because, it's always the dudes paying every. That's what's funny. They act like having a career is, an attractor for a man, but they don't share the money. Like, that's why when a man has money, it's considered an attraction to the women, right? Because they actually share it. It's not that they have money. That isn't the attraction part. The attraction part, why women like men that have money, is because they share it. Okay, having it don't mean crap. So, and then these women are like, "Well, I don't understand. If I'm attracted to a man because he has money, then men will be attracted to me." No, they're not attracted because the man has money. They're attracted because he has money and they'll share it. That's why. So if you're a woman and you ain't going to share none of it, it's his money is our money and my money is my money, type mentality. He pays all the bills and you just buy $1,000 purses, you know what I mean? Yeah. But anyways, my whole point is that the man is not needed at that point. You have zero value. So I would rather have a lot of value in my wife's eyes than zero value. You know what I mean? And if you got a boss babe wanting to marry you, your question should be, well, why? What value am I to you? What value? I can't, it's not, because you can't say, a woman can't say, oh, I value the sex. Because a woman can get sex anywhere. That's not, when you can get something anywhere, and if everyone has 100 pounds of gold will be worthless. You know what I mean? If you can get sex anywhere you want because you're a woman, that's not a value. Like a woman, like a guy values sex from a woman because it's hard to get sex if you're a guy. That gives it value because it's about scarcity. You know what I mean? The more scarce something is, the more expensive it is. You got 100 people want something, and there's only two of those things that they want. It's going to be a lot of money. You got 100 things and only 2 people that want it, then obviously it's going to be cheap as heck. But yeah, what is your value? What do you think your value is when you marry a boss babe? They're literally telling you that you're worthless because they're like, I already went out and did what you did. So, you know what I mean? So you're basically worthless. I don't need you at all in any way, shape, or form. I just want you to pay all my bills. I don't need who would want to be in a relationship or in a thing where they're telling them, I don't need you. You're useless. You have zero value. I just want you though. And the guy's supposed to be like, oh, you just want me? You don't need me, or I'm not value. I don't have any value whatsoever. But you just want me. Oh, I'm so happy. And these men these simps, these horrible. They would be terrible Pastafarians because a Pastafarian would not do that. He would care about society. You know what I mean? That's the whole thing. Is if you don't have the family unit, and I understand there's gay people and there's this and that, and you got boss babe, and they have a right to have a whatever. But if we don't force people, like women are forced right now. If women were not forced into being feminist or being men or whatever, there would only be 5% of the women population would be working right now. Not even like when they did the thing to vote, they got the women's right to vote. 95% of women were against women voting. Only 5% wanted it because they knew they were the most privileged group of people on this planet since the beginning of time, and to get the right to vote just ruined all that. You know what I mean? And now they have even more privilege. But okay, I forgot what I was saying, so let's move on to the next thing. Marriage has to be a hierarchy, okay? And, in the Christian religion, they want to say that a gay marriage is a civil union and not a marriage because God discriminates against, oh my God, what happened to my computer? Because jeez. Oh, there we go. Nope. Sorry about this. Jeez. I hate that. Anyways, let's see. Oh my God. Let's see what we got left here. Civil marriage. These racist people that are, Christians and whatever. Oh, I'm running out of time. So on the next video, we'll talk about what the difference is between civil union and a marriage to a Pastafarian compared to what it is to a Christian. Because one makes common sense and one is like racist and transphobic and gayphobic or whatever. Seems all have a great day.